The time has come. A's top pitching prospect Jesus Luzardo joins the rotation in one of the most anticipated starts in years for the green and gold. The 22-year-old left-hander has appeared out of the bullpen dating back to last September, but tonight he makes his starting pitching debut at the Coliseum. A's and Rangers, game 1 of 3, next. Well, after taking 3 out of 4 in Seattle, the A's are back home to open up a 6-game homestand, and a very big night for that young man, 22-year-old Jesus Luzardo. We are looking forward to it, folks, and I know he is as well. It is the first of a 3-game series. It's the Oakland A's playing host to the Texas Rangers. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's baseball here in NBC Sports California. I'm Glenn Kuiper, so we are excited. Major League debut from a starting standpoint for Jesus Luzardo. First time he steps to the mound as a starter. He threw 67 pitches in his last relief outing. That was last Wednesday. The A's said, hey, we have seen enough. He is ready to join the rotation. Now let's bring in Dallas Braden, my broadcast partner tonight, to talk more about this young man. In Dallas, this is a big night for Luzardo. Big night for the A's organization as well. I think they see this kid as a mainstay in the rotation for a very long time.
No doubt, Kype. And to your point, you mentioned the relief appearances leading up to this day. And we have seen time and time again what Jesus Luzardo can do. We know about the stuff and the competitive nature. What this is this is day one for him for the rest of his career. He wants to be a starter. He has the opportunity now to entrench himself and get things going from the first pitch. And that's a big deal for the young lefty.
And on the other side, it's Lance Lynn. He's pretty darn good. He's had a terrific season last year, off to a good start this year. And Dallas, the A's saw him last year, and they saw him at his best.
Yes, they did, and they did not see him very well, Kype. The last 2 games against Oakland, Lance Lynn was slicing and dicing to the tune of 20 punch-outs, only 3 free passes, utilizing that big-time four-seam fastball at the top of the strike zone. And again, coming off of 2019, that was a career campaign for Lance Lynn, looking to keep it rolling here in 2020 for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, it's a marquee pitching matchup tonight here at the Coliseum, and we are excited about it. Luzardo and Lynn set to square off in game 1 of the 3-game series. Hey, A's scored 11 runs last night in Seattle. Let's hope they can carry it over into this series against the Rangers. We'll have lineups at first pitch right after this. We've seen this young man a little bit, but we want to see him stretch it out a little bit.
And that's what today represents. We talked about it kind of in the open, is this is day 1 of the rest of this young man's career, and it starts with him starting his first big league ball game. We know what he can do out of the bullpen. We're excited about the stuff, but from pitch 1 on, everybody's eyes are going to be glued to this mound and this man, Jesus Luzardo.
And the Rangers, they will be seeing him for the first time as well. And he's ready to go. And he said, you know what, I want to wear the Kelly green tops. Terrific look. We think it's the best jersey top in the big leagues. So the A's take the field behind Luzardo, and we're just about set to get game 1 of this series underway. A's coming home after taking 3 out of 4 in Seattle. Lost the first game and then came back and won 3 in a row. And all in all, played a pretty darn good series up in Seattle. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Texas Rangers. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Elvis Andrews, the veteran, at short. Nick Solak at second. Joey Gallo off to a hot start. He's in right field. Todd Frazier, he's a Ranger this year. He's at first. Robinson Chirino goes back to the Rangers. He's the catcher. Scott Heineman in center. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is your third baseman. Adolis Garcia, young left fielder. And Rob Refsnyder is the designated hitter.
And they are taking on the young lefty making his first major league start. El Problema. Jesus Luzardo has been dynamic out of the bullpen for the Oakland A's. And as we have mentioned, looking to get it going on the mound as a starter for the first time in his young career, working with the youngster Sean Murphy behind the dish as well.
So the A's defense tonight is going to look like this. Robbie Grossman's in left field. Ramon Laureano is in center, and Stephen Piscotty is in right. Matt Chapman at third, Marcus Semien at short. And on the right side, Tony Kemp at second, Matt Olson at first, and Sean Murphy is behind the dish. So our first look at the Texas Rangers. It'll be a week of good baseball here at the Coliseum with the Rangers in for 3, and then the Houston Astros coming in this weekend. So we'll look forward to that. So Andrews says hi to everybody, digs a hole, and we're going to wait. Not quite ready to start yet.
Got to make sure all the eyeballs are on the TVs, ready to rock. There's a lot of anticipation surrounding this ball game. I know here in the Bay Area specifically, I think across baseball in general, anytime you've got a top prospect ready to put it all on display, everybody's excited.
So here's Andrews. The first pitch is a touch outside, 96 miles an hour. Umpires Rob Drake calling balls and strikes. Bill Miller at first. Edwin Moscoso at second. Doug Eddings is at third. Swing and a miss. Took a little off at 89.
And now something early to pay attention to is going to be the pace of game. Whether or not Luzardo and Murphy are able to get lock and step quickly. Are they able to start that dance routine early on?
So 1-2 the count to Elvis Andrus, Solak to follow, and then Gallo. And what we've seen from Luzardo in his relief outings probably won't be a whole lot different as a starter, Dallas, but he doesn't mess around. I mean, he's a fairly quick worker. I think he tries to get a good pace going.
Well, that's the name of the game, and you learn that by pitching in a multitude of roles.
Luzardo reaches up, grabs that one, and Andrus is retired, 1 away. So Jesus Luzardo, just 22 years old. Youngest A's pitcher to start a game since Brett Anderson in 2010, when Brett was 22 years old, and throw in 243 days. Dallas, you were probably there.
I sure was, watching the baby-faced assassin Brett Anderson. I believe that was late September. Probably throwing 100 miles an hour from the left side, making me jealous. But Kuip, I wanted to bring something up. You made a good point about the pace of Luzardo, and having watched him up until this point, how he likes to get rolling early on. Out of the pen so far this year, 75% first pitch strikes for Jesus Luzardo. That is absolutely filling up the strike zone, putting the other team on the defensive very early on.
And he's done it with Solak, 0-2. Solak playing second base. And that almost hit him. Looked like he was able to get out of the way.
And you consider the butterflies, you consider the energy surrounding what this day means to him, and that's something else you can look for, the velocity on the fastball, but really trying to make that secondary stuff almost unhittable at times.
Down and in again. Luzardo stands 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. Of course, the A's got him from the Nats in the Doolittle trade.
That's it.
That's Chris Woodward. He's the Texas Rangers manager in his second season. Coming over from the Dodgers coaching staff. Fouled right at the plate. Rangers enjoyed an off day yesterday. They were in San Francisco over the weekend. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. They had yesterday off, back to work today.
And aside from that whole losing those ball games part, not a bad road trip out here.
Nope. So the Rangers come in with a 3-5 record. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Perfectly located off-speed pitch down and away, and Well, you start thinking about having to gear up for 97 and then watch this pitch and the location.
Well, it's just a great changeup, just bottoms out, great fade to the arm side, and this is after a couple hard sliders down and in, after a good fastball in as well. So you do some work on the inside part of the plate, and that sets up your ability to get those outs away later in an at-bat.
Fastball, curve, change, all above average.
Yeah, and that curveball, maybe not necessarily a traditional curveball, as we just saw those couple back foot sliders to Solak. And what you like to see out of Luzardo early on is his ability to develop shape to that pitch. So he can throw you a wrinkle early on in the count, maybe for a strike, but he can put you away with that back foot slider as well.
Good challenge here with Joey Gallo off to a hot start. Gallo off the end of the bat, and Luzardo ahead of Gallo 1-2.
Well, this is a pretty interesting matchup when you consider Joey Gallo being a reverse splits guy, sees the lefties a little better maybe than the righties. The 3 home runs on the year for Gallo, all against southpaws, Kuiper.
Yep. Got him. High fastball at 97 miles an hour. Pretty impressive first inning of work for Jesus Luzardo. Take a look at the Athletics lineup as they come to bat in the bottom of the first. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Simeon, Laureano, Olsen, Chapman, Canna, Grossman, Piscotty, Murphy, and Kemp.
And the Texas Rangers, who are without 2/5 of their starting rotation, no Corey Kluber. They're going to send Lance Lynn to the mound in pursuit of his 100th victory. Was in line for that W last time out before the Diamondbacks spoiled it, and he is coming off a 2019 campaign that saw him set career highs in innings pitched and a career low whip, 5th in Cy Young voting. Kuiper, he was on a roll, looking to continue that.
Yeah, he was really good last year. 16-11. Had 246 strikeouts in those 208 innings. Lance Lynn. Would you say he's a big burly guy?
Not a little fella. And he's got some attitude, and I love it. And like I said, you're missing guys like Corey Kluber, you're missing Cole Hamels. You want to be able to turn to a guy and hand the ball to a guy that you know has that warrior sort of grinder mentality, but has the body of work to back it up as well.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-2 to Marcus Simeon. Lance Lynn is 33 years old. He's in the second year of a 3-year, $30 million contract he signed with the Rangers. So think about that deal and what he did last year. That's a pretty good contract.
Aging like a fine wine.
Yeah. There's the career numbers. When he was a rookie in 2011, he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, and he got himself a World Series.
Sure did. Playing alongside the machine. And for Lance Lynn, you know, we talk about the sort of stallion presence that you look for in a rotation, a guy that you can just kind of hang that 200 inning mark on. And we mentioned it, 208 1/3 innings for Lynn last year.
95 miles an hour, and Simeon swings through it. So 1 away. Here's the Texas Rangers defense. Adolis Garcia, the young left fielder. Scott Heineman is in center. Joey Gallo's in right. Kiner Falefa, Elvis Andrews, Nick Solak, and Todd Frazier, the infielders, with Robinson Chirino back with the Rangers and back behind the plate.
Just a little hiatus into Houston for Chirinos.
Yep.
This guy right here, Ramon Laureano, has been something special early on for the A's. Bob Melvin's got him in the 2-hole, and just kind of talk about the progression of guys and their at-bats, the way they look at the plate, their pitch selection. And Ramon Laureano has swung himself into that top of the roll spot.
down the right field line, but it's going to be just foul. 2 more hits yesterday for Ramon Laureano when the A's broke out big time. He had a real good series up there in Seattle, and you can see swings like that, you know he's hot.
That's it.
Just inside out the ball, waits a little bit longer, not afraid to hit the ball to right field. This one bounced to Anders, who takes a couple steps in, gets a good hop, and throws out Laureano. So 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
Seen some early curveballs from Lance Lynn. Not afraid of the curveball, but he loves that fastball, folks.
We'll get into that a little bit in the second inning about maybe what makes him so good, and I don't want to say different than other guys, but he's not afraid, that's for sure.
No, and I think it's just about paying attention to what you do well. And one of the things that you like to learn as a pitcher, and if you can, you'd like to learn it earlier, sooner rather than later, is how to read what the opponent is telling you about your stuff. So reading swings, reading the way guys take pitches. And for Lance Lynn, I think it's really a matter of identifying what he does well and realizing that that kind of intersects with the success that he's had, and not straying from that, not trying to reinvent the wheel within himself.
Popped up foul, and the count now 1-2 to Matt Olson. Olson at 152. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. 5 hits and 33 at bats. A little bit inside, not by much. A's come in with a 6-4 record, and they have won 3 in a row.
Yeah, almost equivalent to a 10-game winning streak.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. A little bit outside. A's and the Astros close at top. Astros a half game back. They're 5-4. To left field, Garcia going back, still going back, and he makes the catch. So Olson hit that ball pretty well. Garcia tracked it down. No score after all. Games on NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the My Teams app, brought to you by your NorCal Honda dealers. Top of the second, Jesus Luzardo back to work. He'll face Frazier, Chirinos, and Heineman. Luzardo had a couple of strikeouts in the first inning.
Fill it up, young man.
And on 3 pitches, Frazier is gone. Changeup. So if you're watching at home, you can start putting it together. The changeup's about 87, 88 miles an hour. A little fading action. You know, the hard slider down and in, and the fastball's 95, 96, 97.
98, 99.
So if you see 88, that's that changeup. And as Frazier just said, it fades away from right-handed hitters.
Well, I mean, that was really just an abusive at bat. You get 94, inner third, first pitch, no shot at that. Then you take 95 elevated.
Chirinos is retired.
And you get a good look right there from Robinson Chirinos, what they're trying to avoid, and that's avoiding getting to that secondary stuff, because it is devastating. It is wipeout type secondary offerings. So you jump on a heater early on. Hopefully you hit it hard somewhere where they don't have anybody, and you don't have to deal with that hellacious slider and changeup.
I think, too, maybe what separates Luzardo a little bit from other young pitchers who have good stuff, he has such great control.
That's it. It's a combination of being able to put it where you want and overpower somebody at the same time. Anytime you start thinking about a rare combination like that, you think about the greats, the GOATs, the Pedros, the Clemens, the Randy Johnsons. And you can see right now just some gamesmanship here. Stepping out, 2 outs early. Heineman wants to slow him down.
A little quick pitch there by Luzardo, so he'll throw that in there occasionally. That's probably not fair.
Yeah, no, not really.
Good swing there by Scott Heineman. 98 miles an hour.
And what you see right now out of him, Kuip, is the arm speed is the same on every offering.
Off the plate, Luzardo's going to have to throw quickly. He does, and they got him. Heck of a play by Jesus Luzardo. Throws out Scott Heineman. 6 up, 6 down for the young left-hander in his first major league start.
Athlete!
No score, bottom of the second inning. Good start so far for Luzardo. See if the offense can get rolling after 11 runs and 12 hits last night up in Seattle. Tough cookie on the mound, though, and Lance Lynn. So let's finish our thoughts on Lance Lynn, Dallas. Get into it a little deeper and what he does with the fastball usage, because it's different than everybody except Bartolo Colon, right?
Just about. You talk about pitching off of certain pitches to maybe open up your other offerings. For Lance Lynn, he's a guy who uses the fastball to pitch off the fastball, to get to the fastball, to put you away with the fastball. And that is a very rare approach, but you've got to have a lot of confidence. You have to have a lot of ability in order to trot that kind of approach out at the big league level. And as you have seen very early on here in this game, and you can dive into the numbers and take a look for yourself, but it is elevated heaters at the top of the strike zone, and we talk a lot about tunneling as well, making these pitches look the same, coming out of the hand the same, and up until about 50 feet or so, they'd start to head in a different direction. But it's really not just about the fastball usage for Lance Lynn. You think back to 2018, his time with Minnesota, things not going well, ends up getting traded over to New York. You see him handle Chapman there. Easy cheese, 94 away. Chappie just running out of bat. And again, it's almost like as a hitter, you might be thinking, is this the pitch where I see that wrinkle? Is this the pitch that I see something different? And unfortunately, the answer more times than not for the opponent is no.
Highest fastball whiff percentage, and that's exactly what we're talking about. And he is just not afraid to challenge you in the strike zone with his fastball. But you may have read the same thing I read about Lynn a couple years ago, though. He made this little adjustment when he was with the Twins, kind of scuffling around with the Twins, where he moved to the third base side of the rubber. And he claims that that has really made a big difference for him.
Well, that's right. And pitching coach for the Twins at the time, former Oakland A's minor league pitching coach Garvin Alston, tremendous individual, a lot of knowledge there, is kind of looking at Lance and saying, you know what, you ever thought about maybe relocating? Like, let's move it on over to the third base side just a touch. You've got some good life on the heater. Might be able to crowd these righties a little more. What do you think?
It's amazing that can make such a difference, because we just showed the rubber, and so you go from the middle of the rubber to toward the third base side of the rubber. I mean, what are we talking here? 6 inches,
roughly,
right?
When you think about it, and that's a great point, Kuip, because when he's letting the ball go, Minnesota, it's about 2.5 feet or about 2 feet right of center of home plate, and he got to the Yankees 2.5 feet. You see that evolution. It continued to grow. He continued to adapt. And now you're starting to see the fruit of that labor.
2-2 the count to Mark Canha. So to just simplify it, and then we'll move on. He's very good, and he's not afraid to challenge with his fastball. And if you hit it, all right, then he'll challenge the next guy with his fastball, which is kind of fun. I like that.
Well, it's about having a game plan, and he's confident in his game plan. Confident in Chirinos back there to be able to put him in the positions he needs to be in the counts he needs to be in.
So here's a good example. So it's 3-2. Good hitter in Mark Canha. Good fastball hitter. Let's see if he challenges him.
Oh, it's going to be. And it's going to be up in the zone. And it's going to be about getting to that pitch and staying on plane with that pitch as a hitter.
Well, that one had some nasty movement on it. That was almost a hard sinker, and Canha struck out. So that's 3 strikeouts for Lance Lynn.
Well, you can see this thing. It does, Kuiper. It darts and dives just under the barrel of Mark Canha. But here's Chirinos. Check it. You see that finger there? That little wiggle? That wiggle one? That's the sinker. It says, give me some stank on it, Lance.
So he may have even dropped down a little bit. Turned it over a little bit.
That's it. It's all about manipulation.
First pitch strike to Robbie Grossman.
And see, look at the difference in those two fastballs, right? 95, some different angle, a little straighter, higher velocity. The pitch before, more east to west movement, slight reduction in velocity, but just a completely different look.
So there was his breaking ball. Grossman had 304 on the year. 7 hits and 23 at bats.
Grossi, another guy in this lineup. A lot of conversation about Ramon Laureano at the top, but Robbie Grossman doing his part to kind of lengthen this lineup out towards the bottom.
Popped up foul. You know, Chris Davis hit his first home run last night. Bob Melvin was talking about, well, people maybe said, well, he's not in there tonight, you know. Bob kind of talked about the Lynn matchup. Chris Davis against Lance Lynn is 4 for 29 with 16 strikeouts.
Yeah, those are numbers that you pay attention to. And when you think about guys trying to get their feet underneath them, anytime you see a matchup like that, it's not about trying to throw a guy to the wolves or see if he can work his way around. You move on.
Yep.
You take your day, and you go get him tomorrow.
Shallow center. Heineman hustling in. Now he settles underneath it. So 6 up, 6 down for Lance Lynn. No score after 2. Go back to work here in the top of the 3rd. He's retired the first 6 with 3 strikeouts, facing Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who has won the third base job for the Rangers. Rangers signed Todd Frazier, thinking, Frazier's probably going to play third, but Kiner-Falefa in the spring training 2.0 looked so good that the Rangers said, you know what, he's got to be out there every day, so they moved Frazier to first.
Well, and he can offer them some versatility as well, right? We know he can get back there behind the dish and put some fingers down.
That's right.
But I think that just proves what I think we all know. You can swing your way into a lineup with the opportunity to do so, and Isaiah has not turned back.
So 1-2. Falefa, a little bit of a slow start, 4 for 20. Does not have a home run or an RBI just yet. But he's got a base hit here as he shoots one right up the middle. So that's the first hit for the Rangers.
Now batting, number 53, Adolis Garcia.
Well, Falefa just does a good job of keeping his head down on this heater here middle. 97 in, and look at this thing knuckle on the way out. Squared him up right tight. You can see Luzardo kind of flinching at that.
Here's Adolis Garcia. Garcia coming over from the St. Louis Cardinals this past offseason. Nice play by Murphy.
And now this is where the learning process begins for Luzardo as a starting pitcher. As you see Murph kick out and do an amazing job of just being able to get glove to that ball, let alone corral it. But now you've got the running game to consider. Maintaining focus at the plate, knowing that's the objective, is to get the guy with the bat in his hand out. But you can't give up on the base runner as well. You've got to pay attention.
And a strike called, so 3-1 the count. Chopped foul, so now full count. On deck is Rob Refsnyder.
And I like that there. 3-1, quick pitch / slide step heater. Trying to get that ground ball double play. Keeping Falefa as close to first as possible.
Runner goes, ball's hit slowly. Simeon, he's got it. His quick throw to first, and it's dug out by Matt Olson. So close play at first.
Number 14, Rob Refsnyder.
So close play, but they got him. Kiner Falefa now in scoring position at second base. Here is Refsnyder. Fastball inside.
And you think back to that 3-1 pitch. Like I mentioned, he slide step. Falefa had no opportunity to break. Ground ball, should it have been fair, would have been an easy double play. Then he goes to that leg kick 3-2. Falefa was able to take off and eliminate the double play opportunity. Those are just some of those little things that I'm talking about as a starting pitcher. Maybe late in the ball game, you eliminate a leg kick, you go to an abbreviated slide step, but here as a starter, that might not be something that you're thinking about doing.
Fastball in. Straightaway defense for Refsnyder. And taken all the way, and it's a strike.
Well, now this is where Luzardo has to capitalize on his ability to get himself back into the count. 2-2 here. No messing around. You want to get Refsnyder out of there ASAP.
So it's full. Trying for third. The throw. Got him. Kiner Falefa saw the ball in the dirt. He took off for third. Murphy hustled after it and threw a perfect strike to Chapman.
Well, pure athleticism on display back there behind the plate for Murph. He's got to go down and block this thing, keep it in front of him. Then he's got to pop up, gather it, and throw around Refsnyder. That's not easy to do. Doesn't have a great foundation under him. And Matt Chapman does a great job. That ball may be off to his right just a bit, but he's able to come across, grab the ball, put the tag down. Good job by both those fellas.
So the runner in scoring position is wiped out.
You see here Chappie getting to the bag, selling out, sacrificing his body. Be tough to get to that third base bag. You put a couple cheeks in front of it.
Yeah, and it's, he's on the move.
Yeah.
He's not able to get there and stop and catch it. That's a tough play for a third baseman.
Well, and that's what makes it tough for Murph behind the dish as well, throwing to that moving target. Sure, he knows he's going to be at third, but you've got to make it presentable at least.
Count stays 3-2, 98 miles an hour. So 2 outs, nobody on.
You know, I think here 3-2, he's got Ref Snyder in swing mode. Not that he can't beat him with a fastball, but maybe you start to figure go a little soft here. Just your standard 90-mile-an-hour changeup.
So good battle. Ref Snyder having a good at bat. And he missed inside. So the long at bat goes to Ref Snyder with the walk. So that's the first walk issued by Jesus Luzardo. And now we will head to the top of the order, Elvis Andrus.
And that's always something you think about is how does the game change for the young man as soon as he gets traffic on the base paths? Are you able to slow the game down and just get back to focusing on filling up the strike zone like he was early on? You think about no base runners, a lot of first pitch strikes. The minute you get a base runner, you start to spray the zone a little bit. So it's about settling back in and not letting those emotions take over the outing.
Up the middle, Marcus Simeon's got it, flips to second, and that will do it. Runner left. We're going to the bottom of the third. It'll be Piscotty, Murphy, and Kemp for the A's.
Well, tonight is the deadline to purchase and submit your photo to get your cutout printed in time for the D-backs and Angels series. So lock in your cutout order right now. And remember, proceeds benefiting the A's Community Fund, so get on it and head to athletics.com/cutouts before it's too late.
Piscotty goes after the first pitch, drops it into center field for a leadoff single. So the A's had their first hit.
Yeah, no reason to wait around. Good chance you're going to get a fastball, huh, Kuiper? Piscotty thinks so. Just got to see him up, and I think that's what we may start to see from this Oakland lineup as we get deeper into this ball game. You've got a good idea of what you're going to be getting from the big fella in Lance Lynn. Maybe you pick one out a little earlier that you like and see what you got.
So here's Murphy. Remember we talked on the last homestand, Dallas, about the umpires and how all the umpire crews were regionalized now. You get a West Coast grouping of umpires, you got a Midwest, and you got an East Coast grouping of umpires. So also said, you know, the A's are going to see certain umpiring crews a lot, right? Could be two, and it is going to be a double play. So as I say that, I'm looking at our gang. It's the same group that was in Seattle.
They're getting comfy,
which is very interesting. Same group for 4 games in Seattle.
And remember, we talked about maybe being able to take advantage of the familiarity that you might develop with some of these crews, right? Don't be afraid to, I'm not saying take him to dinner. I'm saying pay attention to how these fellas operate, especially as a pitcher and obviously as a hitter as well, but get a feel for the strike zone.
So you're going to see this same umpiring crew 7 consecutive games, I would imagine.
And if you're a pitcher, that's probably twice you're going to see maybe that same guy behind the dish for you.
That's right. And we'd all like to say, I mean, this umpiring crew is doing a terrific job.
Amazing.
Slipped them a 20 before I came up to the booth.
You know what to do.
Heinemann's right there, and he's got it. So the double play helps Lance Lynn. We're cruising along, headed to the fourth. Some interesting stuff on Jesus Luzardo. Check it out. Percentage of pitches swung on outside the zone. Percentage of pitches swung in the zone. Both up this year compared to last year. Now, it's a small sample size both ways, but still. So really, if guys are swinging more, I would guess that you're making pitches look like they're attractive.
Well, that's it.
Doesn't mean they are,
right?
But you're making them look like they are.
You're a good liar.
Did I say that right?
You did. You did. And that's the name of the game,
Making pitches look like they're attractive.
Pitch presentation. That's right. Put some sunglasses on it and turn it into an 8. Could be a 5 as it walks out the door, but you put those glasses on it, turn it right into an 8. But what those numbers say is you get a good look. Chasing the heater out of the zone. You fill the strike zone up with consistency. You're telling those hitters that you're going to be around the zone. Now you make some of those secondary offerings look appetizing or look attractive. Now those hitters are on the defensive. They know that everything that's coming their way is either looking like a strike, is ending up a strike, or is really too close for them to take. And that's where you start to get those chases out of the zone, guys flailing at pitches that they can't spoil. And so those numbers tell me that he's doing a good job of filling up the strike zone and putting the pressure on the other team. And really, he is refining his misses. He's not spraying the zone.
Full count to Nick Solak. Gallo to follow, and then Frazier here in the top of the fourth inning. Chapman charges. He's got it on the run. One away. So that'll bring up Joey Gallo. So this is Luzardo against lefties and righties, the batting average and the batter retired percentage. So he's hard to hit whatever side of the plate you hit from, but the lefty thing, he could wipe you out.
Well, it's just not it doesn't feel like it's going to be a fun at bat.
Yeah.
And that'll kind of give you an indication right there. You got Joey Gallo. There's not a ballpark, there's not a national park on this planet that can hold this fella. And his approach right now, second AB against this young lefty, is to take advantage of the left side that's opened up and try to bunt one, put it on the ground, and get to first base. And again, Gallo is taking advantage of the lefties he's faced all year. 3 long balls coming against the lefties. And right now, it's kind of like just survive.
Gallo hits one very high right field in the ballpark, which you're never quite sure of with Joey Gallo. And Piscotty grabs it, so 2 away here in the top of the fourth.
You're talking about pairing that incredible power at the plate and Joey Gallo with raw horsepower on the mound and Luzardo, and that's a matchup I know a lot of folks were excited about tonight.
So here's Frazier, who struck out swinging in the second inning. In first strike.
It's a great job to get himself back even off speed. See, Frazier might be looking out there.
Todd Frazier's been with the Reds, the White Sox, the Yankees briefly, and then the last couple years with the Mets. Always been a good home run hitter.
Flavor Frazier.
Isn't he a Little League World Series hero?
That's it.
Toms River, New Jersey.
There you go. Very comfortable back in Jersey.
He's had a good career. 215 career home runs. Over 1,000 career hits.
The Todd father.
Off the end of the bat. So Luzardo had 61 pitches. Got out of a little jam in the third.
He's done a good job without traffic on the base pass. We've seen as you start to get base runners maybe get a little excited, moving the ball around the zone.
Frazier hits one hard. Grossman hustling over, not going to get it. Bounces off the wall. Grossman picks it up clean. Frazier's got a 2-out double. So second hit of the night for the Texas Rangers.
Well, Todd Frazier wasn't going to give in. And what I mean by that is he was sitting on the fastball. He'll give you the off speed if you're going to throw it 3-2, but he got the heater he was looking for, kind of middle. He does exactly what you're supposed to do with that mistake middle. You think about the 3-1 that Luzardo threw, that changeup. Had Frazier kind of flailing. If that might not have been a pitch he could have doubled up on. But the benefit of hindsight will always give you a 0 ERA.
Want to know to Chirinos. Chirinos grounded out to short in the second inning. Went after the first pitch he saw from Luzardo. Slider down and in. Chirinos, interesting, 6 years with the Texas Rangers. Last year goes to Houston, and then this year comes back. Got a free agent contract. Actually got a pretty nice contract. Got a 1-year deal for $6.5 million with the club option.
Take it.
Not bad.
Hey, what I like to see here is this conversation between Murphy and Luzardo, two young fellas understanding this is a pivotal point in the game. You got runners in scoring position, 2 outs, trying to keep that pitch count down. How are we going to get rid of Chirinos right here, right now?
Chapman gets up, spins around his throw. Olsen digs it out, saves a run. So Chapman, sensational play going to his left. Olsen digs it out, and they keep the Rangers off the board. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Blows. This is kind of interesting. Remember, things are different this year. Just a 2-month season. Just playing the AL West and the NL West. Most miles traveled this year. It's the Texas Rangers. So now you're probably thinking, Rangers and Astros, right? It's close. It's very close. That makes perfect sense. The reason the Rangers have more miles to travel than the Astros this year is because Texas has to make 2 trips to Seattle. Houston only makes 1. Seattle's sort of the one that adds to your miles. Adds to your magic miles.
The Pacific Northwest.
And in a regular season, it's usually the Seattle Mariners who lead all of baseball in mileage.
Way up there at the top, they got to make their way all the way across the country.
A's and Giants are usually near the top of that as well, most miles traveled.
And I can tell you, as a visiting team, kind of like the Rangers right now, you have to love when that calendar tells you we're going to hang out in San Francisco for a few days, Then we'll go to Oakland for a few days. Just enjoy that California scene.
Yep. 2-2 the count to Marcus Simeon. Gets jammed a little bit. Some Rangers fans made it to the Bay Area, and we certainly appreciate that. Left field, Garcia's back with room, and he makes the catch.
Now got it.
Get out your pencils, A's fans. Now is the time to learn how to keep score while benefiting a great cause. For a $25 donation to the Oakland A's Community Fund, you can join our scorekeeping 101 class hosted by an official MLB scorer. Visit athletics.com/community corner for details.
So here's Laureano. We figured this would be a good pitching matchup, and it has been. Coming in quickly is Scott Heineman, and he makes a nice sliding catch. Heineman looked like he got a pretty good jump.
Well, that's it. That's the name of the game. Read it off the bat. And you know something that you got to think about without all of the fans here in attendance, the outfielder's ability to listen and hear the sound of the ball off the bat. That can tell you a lot sometimes. Sometimes you see a guy take a big hack, but you can tell by the sound that he got it off the cap. And that'll kind of help you make your decision. But yeah, great play there by Heineman, busting in on that.
Matt Olson hit a fly ball to fairly deep left field to end the first inning. There's that fastball, 94 miles an hour. Well placed right on the inside corner. Lynn struck out 1 in the first and 2 in the second. Way out in front.
Well, another thing that moving to the third base side of the rubber does for Lance Lynn, not only does it give him the ability to use that sinker two-seamer to crowd the righties, you see him cut the four-seamer at times, and you see him run that slider or that cutter in under the hands against these guys. It's just creating a completely different angle from a righty.
Outside corner, off-speed pitch, strike 3 called. So that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lance Lynn. He is rolling along. 5th inning coming up, no score. Heineman, Kiner Falefa, and Garcia here in the top of the 5th. Kind of a cool weekend for Scott Heineman. Over the weekend, his brother Tyler Heineman plays for the Giants, and they squared off against each other.
Gotta love that.
That's pretty cool. Saturday night, Giants won the game, but this Heineman, Scott Heineman, hit a home run.
Yeah.
With his brother behind the dish.
Going to be a conversation about that.
Yeah. So that's a good weekend for the Heineman parents. Although who you cheering for? Huh? Strikes out there, so Luzardo gets his 4th strikeout.
Baby Jesus continuing to roll. Gets away with one here if we're being quite honest, but again, to the point about pitching inside, doing the work inside to open up the outer portion of the plate, drops a backdoor wrinkle on him and turns him into a window shopper.
Falefa slider drops low.
And that's also a good example, type of Luzardo shaping that pitch. Backdoor slider for the put away strike 3 as opposed to trying to bury that back foot slider. Maybe an increase in velocity to the back foot. There's some things that change.
So now it's 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk with 1 out.
Introducing Quick Pick, MLB Rally's new game where fans predict outcomes and compete for cash. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/QuickPick.
So here's Adolis Garcia. That's a strike. Luzardo in his 2 relief appearances this year. The first outing, he threw 44 pitches. The second outing, he threw 67. And right now, he's sitting at 73. The way he's pumping it in there, I don't think it's anything to worry about.
No, and I would think probably somewhere in the 85+ pitch range is maybe where they'll start to entertain lifting Luzardo.
Mighty swing and a miss, 96 miles an hour, and that's a strikeout. That was a challenge.
Number 14, Rob Snyder.
Well, it's got to be convenient to be able to dip into the bag and just go grab 96 when you need to. And Jesus Luzardo not shying away from that inner part of the plate.
Hit hard to Marcus Semien, flips to second, and that'll do it. So 2 more strikeouts for Luzardo, and we're moving to the bottom of the 5th. Game with America's largest 5G network. Bottom of the 5th inning. Chapman, Canna, and Grossman against big Lance Lynn. So far, this is the 3rd start for Lance Lynn, Dallas. He's thrown, Petite warming up, he's thrown 16 innings. He's given up 4 hits. He's got 21 strikeouts. He's off to a good start.
Not a bad one. And I believe the knock by our man Piscotty is the first hit allowed to a right-handed hitter for Lance Lynn.
Chapman struck out in the 2nd. A little bit off the plate, but close. Astros and the Diamondbacks playing tonight in Arizona. Houston 3, Arizona 0. Bottom of the 4th inning. Christian Javier, young right-hander for the Astros, making his 2nd big league start, facing Madison Bumgarner. Of course, the Astros will be here this weekend. So they lead 3-0, bottom of the 4th. In the air toward left, Garcia is right there. Garcia has it. So that is out number 1.
Now batting number 20.
Angels and the Mariners are just underway. Angels got a run in the top of the 1st up in Seattle. Heaney and Dunn, the pitching matchup there. Trout is back in the lineup. And Joe Adell, the big-time Angels outfield prospect, is in the lineup as well, making his big league debut. So that's what's going on with the Angels.
A highly anticipated debut of Joe Adell.
Angels 3-7, so they need to get rolling.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. It has been a struggle. I mean, think about how the season opened up. They came here into Oakland and dropped 3 of 4 very early on. And I know we've talked a lot about, the 1-ball game essentially meaning 3, but think about starting your season off on the equivalent of about a 10-game losing streak, and that's just not fun.
That's the AL West. Astros a half game back.
And you pair that with the Ohtani news for the Angels, and things just haven't been great out of the gate for them.
When you think about that, the pitching situation with the Angels, like you just said with Ohtani, and they need everybody. The Astros pitching situation is pretty banged up. We saw the Mariners pitching staff. Rangers without Corey Kluber. I just think you start to see kind of what's going on. And then you look at the A's pitching staff, and I'm not talking just rotation, I'm talking the bullpen. It just looks like, and it's still early, but it looks like the A's pitching staff maybe the best in the division, and that could be the difference.
That, in my opinion, will be the difference. And that's what
it's a good rotation, and it's a really good bullpen.
No doubt. And when I say that could be the difference, I'm not talking about specifically for the Oakland A's. I mean, any one of those clubs you just mentioned, should they be able to figure things out, any club really during this moment, you can get your ducks in a row on the mound. You are giving yourself a fighting chance more so, I think, than any other type of season. You know, we talk a lot about the game and how it's evolved to a 6-inning affair for the starter and hand it to the bullpen, let them take care of the last 3 innings. If you can do that in a truncated season and give yourself a chance to win each ball game every day out there, things look good for you.
2-2 to Mark Canha. Well, even the Rangers. So we know they lost Kluber, but they also lost their closer, Jose Leclerc. And they lost Rafael Montero, who's a pretty good reliever, came up last year and did a good job. He's out as well. Canha hits it hard, but foul.
And we've seen the importance of what the back end of a bullpen can do. We watched the tremendous work put in by Blake Trinan and Lou Trevino a couple years ago, and you can kind of see what happens when maybe you don't get that same production out of the same group that you were dependent upon in previous years.
And Canha takes the walk. That's the first walk issued by Lance Lynn.
A's fans, Bloomberg 960 and 103.7 FM HD2 are your radio home for all A's games in the Bay Area and 24-hour world business news coverage. Get all the A's action, plus tune in weekday mornings for Bloomberg Surveillance, the premier business news program covering global Wall Street.
So the A's with a base runner, 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Grossman. Grossman goes after the first pitch, hits it foul. Grossman hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. Heineman, the center fielder, is shifted toward left center. Garcia, the left fielder, is playing toward the line and pretty shallow. Falefa, the third baseman, right on the grass, bounced up over the middle. Andrus is going to hustle towards second, and he got there just ahead of Mark Canha. So Elvis Andrus, who was going behind second base, he made a nice play, but he really had to hit the brakes and scramble back.
Well, you can see him raging to his left. He's considering either maybe trying to tag Mark Canha and possibly complete the double play, and then he realizes I've got no shot. Makes sure of 1 out, and he gets to the bag, avoids Mark Canha, and you'll take it. But you can see Elvis does a really good job of rerouting himself very quickly, knowing I've got to get to the bag and get that out. I really don't have a shot anywhere else.
So Bob Evans talking to the crew chief and the home plate umpire. Let's take a look here. mean, he looks fairly out.
Yeah, I'm not sure
So
what
I
this
don't know
could be
if
about.
that's what the discussion is all about. You almost get the feeling that it's not about the play at second. Because it was a close play, but he did look out.
Previous plays under review.
We'll just wait it out, see what's going on.
And if anything, I think it would be the Rangers that would have something to say if they felt like maybe the pop-up from Mark Canha prevented Elvis from being able to
Yeah, I thought about that too.
get the ball over to first base, but that's not the case. Elvis had 0 play over to first. And you can see that left foot's going to hit the bag now. And then you see the left foot of Mark Canha slide into the bag.
Foot on. Yeah, I mean, he does get there just a little bit ahead of Mark Canha. At least it looks like it. From all of our angles, it looks like it.
You know, this could also be about the skipper understanding that maybe Lance Lynn is on a nice roll here. Slow him down a little. Maybe disrupt his timing out there. And who knows, but
So both managers are being filled in on the situation.
and I understand there's obviously a lot of things that are very different about how we're going about our game, just in an effort to keep people safe and keep this thing rolling. But I think this is a great example of the need to be able to communicate to the fans who would be in the ballpark, maybe kind of looking at each other asking, do you know what's going on? And maybe the fans at home right now who are kind of scratching their head, wondering why we've taken 5 minutes on a replay that we ultimately may not have an answer for.
Well, you and I are scratching our heads as well. I mean, we've tried to figure this out, but I don't know what the discussion was about. So Grossman is the runner at first with 2 outs. Here's Piscotty. Slider for a strike. Good pitch by Lynn. Piscotty had a base hit in the first inning. It could be Piscotty starting to feel it a little bit. Had a decent series up in Seattle. He was 5 for 13. So we're getting a report now from down in the truck that the phones were not working to the video room.
Check those rollover minutes.
Well, at least we got that figured out, we think. Keep an eye on Grossman. You never know. He's got a very good lead. Not running.
And that's where being a smart base runner, and you've heard Robbie talk about picking his spots, comes into play. Pitch count, who the hitter is at the plate. Because he's out there about 13 feet, maybe 14 feet or so, Kuip. But you know you're getting a heater from Lance Lynn.
There he goes, and the pitch is up and in. Piscotty walks. So 2 on, 2 out.
Number 12, John Murphy.
So 2 walks in the inning by Lance Lynn.
And this is where you got to take advantage of those free passes. If you're the Oakland A's, you got an opportunity here to maybe put something across against Lance Lynn, a guy who has really done a good job of limiting any sort of damage, any threats. So right now, a big 2-out knock from Murph after a couple free passes. That'd be nice.
First pitch to Murphy is down and away. Murphy hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the third. Outfield defense straight away, and outfielders again a little bit shallow. Maybe that's just the Rangers' strategy.
When you think about Robbie Grossman, a good runner at second base, thinking they might be trying to cut that run down at home plate or prevent him from coming around and scoring, but double in the gap. All but scores Piscotty.
Yeah, you're going to have a tough time throwing out a fast runner with 2 outs because he's just taken off as soon as the bat makes contact. So 1-2 to Sean Murphy. Murphy could not hold up on a high fastball at 96 miles an hour, and the A's strand a pair. 6th inning coming up.
By your California Ford dealers, and El Problema is the man of the evening, slicing and dicing his way through 5 innings, 2 hits, 5 punch-outs on 76 pitches, some great defensive effort as well. Everything you wanted to see from the young lefty making his debut as a starter for the A's tonight. And he'll take the rest of this game in from the clubhouse.
So 5 shutout innings, and now the baseball is handed to Yusmeiro Petit here in the top of the 6th inning. So Andrus, Solak, and Gallo. First pitch is a fastball called strike. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. 7th appearance already for Yusmeiro Petit. This is game number 11 for the A's. Defense straight away for Elvis Andrus. Piscotty goes back, but he's got plenty of room, and he makes the catch. So that is out number 1. A's bullpen on the year. Combined ERA of 2.13. Look at the opponent's batting average. 42 innings, 47 strikeouts, and just 3 walks. Hey, relievers who come in the game and don't walk anybody. That's a beautiful thing. They have been terrific.
Good way to keep a job.
The A's overall as a team, a 2.87 ERA. That's 3rd best in the American League, and it's getting better.
You think about the performance you just saw from the young lefty Jesus Luzardo. That's a guy that's going to slide right into that rotation and continue to impact those overall numbers. And you got to like what the future holds.
There's a strike. Well, Dallas, the starters in Seattle. 4-game series, 23 innings pitched, 7 earned runs. That's an ERA of 2.74. So the ERA is a terrific number. I like the 23 innings as well. So that's almost 6 innings a start.
Yep.
So you feel like the pitching staff is starting to gain some momentum. Kemp grabs it. A soft line drive. So 2 away here in the top of the 6th.
Well, and as the season continues to roll and we continue to watch these ball games be managed a little differently, maybe under a little bit bigger of a microscope, you're going to see these bullpens throughout baseball relied on, I think, quicker than you may have anticipated, just because I think the pressure of maintaining a win streak or maintaining your position in the standings, it's going to be very real and at the forefront of, I think, a lot of managers and front offices' minds.
Gallo bunts, and it's going to work. So Joey Gallo had a wide open left side. He lays down a perfect bunt. And there may be some people in the green and gold that say, that's fine if you want to do that.
Well, the idea is you're giving Joey Gallo first base because hopefully you're able to get the guy out behind him and it's not 1-0. And if you make your pitch, hopefully it won't be 2-0. But if you're able to keep the Rangers and Joey Gallo off the scoreboard right now, that's the victory. But it's this third out here that's represented by Todd Frazier that has to happen in order for that decision to be okay.
Frazier hit a ball hard in the fourth, doubled. It's a Rangers lineup right now as we look at it. It's missing some pretty good hitters. Danny Santana, who had a great year last year, he's on the injured list with a forearm injury. Santana hit 28 home runs last year, so he's not in there. And due to Luzardo, Chu's not in there. Calhoun's not in there. Rougned Odor is a little bit sore, a little bit injured, but getting closer to play. So that, you think about those four guys, those are four pretty good hitters.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll see Chu and we'll see Calhoun and maybe Odor, but not Santana. He's on the injured list. And the point is, you can see why the Rangers still feel like, listen, they haven't scored a lot of runs, but I think they feel like they will score runs. And they hope that the pitching's better with their additions, and that's why they feel like maybe they have a chance here. And maybe they do.
And they, to your point again, if you get healthy and you can start clicking, you feel like you have that fighting chance. So you can't just roll over and go belly up this early in the season, knowing that a lot of what you're seeing you feel like isn't indicative of what you are capable of as a club.
Two and two the count. Frazier waits, and looked like a hanger, fouled it right at the plate.
Got away with one there. Little curveball just stays up. See here, just kind of backs up as well.
So another 2-2, but not before Gallo gets pushed back to the bag.
See if Petit can't get him fishing maybe away, something soft. See if he can catch Frazier out front.
Reach for it. Matt Olson. Maybe. No. Nice play by that fan. Big Ranger fan, all decked out. He do a hat catch?
Yep. Put a lid on it. Got a guy there. It's got to be nice. No scraping the knees for a foul ball. Good little battle here between Petit and Frazier.
And that one's hooked down to the left field line. This could be trouble. Joey Gallo digging for third, and they're going to wave him home. And Joey Gallo at the plate, he's going to be safe. Frazier's going to be caught in a rundown between second and third. So the A's will try to execute the rundown. And they do. Wasn't exceptionally pretty, but they pull it off. Rangers get a run. Frazier with an RBI double. Bottom of the 6th coming up.
Project Foul Ball Zone is back, and fans can purchase a cutout in our special foul ball section for $149, which includes a signed Stephen Piscotty photograph. And if a fan in this section catches a foul ball, they'll receive a Piscotty autographed ball. So visit athletics.com/cutouts for more details on that. Sign up, folks.
So the Rangers and Lance Lynn with a 1-0 lead, bottom of the 6th inning. A's have one hit. That was a Piscotty leadoff single in the 3rd. Joey Gallo scores the run all the way from first. Kemp hit a fly ball to center field in the 3rd inning. Jammed him up a little bit there with the breaking ball.
That is a filthy cutter. Cutter slider hybrid. Again, you see these guys. We talked about Luzardo kind of shaping that breaking ball a couple different ways to feature a couple different looks. Same thing for Lance Lynn. Really likes it under the hands against these lefties. And then you see that guy right there. Little 92-mile-an-hour back whip heater trying to front door that fastball against Tony Kemp after that cutter in under the hands, creating intersections on the corner of the plate.
Foul back. Well, Lynn in his first 2 starts this year, first start 108 pitches, second start 102. So he's got another inning or 2 in him.
Kuiper, he's got 26 straight ball games of 100 pitches or more. So it's not about waiting around to get Lance Lynn out of this ball game. You're going to have to force that action if you're the A's lineup.
This could work, and it will. It's going to drop into shallow right field for a base hit. So Kemp, the 9th place hitter with a base hit. And now you're rolling over to the top of the order.
When you're going to need knocks like this from the guys at the bottom of the lineup, give you some help to turn it over and let the guys at the top go to work. An incredible job by Kemp here, understanding this entire at-bat, what Lance Lynn is trying to do to him. Crowds him in with the heater, crowds him in with the cutter, tries to bring that fastball back over the inner part of the plate to put him away, and Tony Kemp says, nay, nay, I'll get that barrel right to that baseball. I'll do my job.
Marcus swings and misses, 95 at the top of the strike zone.
Now, what does Lance want to do? Does he want to slide it and cut it away? Does he want to try to sink it back in on the hands against Simeon?
Went up there again. Marcus a strikeout and a fly ball to left field.
We've seen Lance go to that little 2-seamer in against these righties, trying to get that ground ball. Cat and mouse.
So now it's 1-2.
And there it was. That heavy sinker, 2-seam action, trying to get that ground ball. Tony Kemp's over there daring Lance Lynn to throw him a triple.
Solak, the second baseman, playing right behind second. And a swing and a miss. So that's the 6th strikeout for Lance Lynn.
Well, not only does Lance Lynn do a wonderful job of elevating the 4-seamer, but you can see out of the hand, that cutter spin, elevated cut away from the righties. It's just a very different look for a lot of guys. And Lance Lynn has found the sweet spot of execution and comfortability.
Like Laureano said, I'm just going to take one. Settle in here a little bit.
I see Lance Lynn was a little quick there to home plate, maybe anticipating some early action from Kemp. You wonder with the right side open, as you see there with the shift against Laureano, do they try to maybe create some offense here?
In for a strike. 88 miles an hour. Just take a little off, ease it in there. So now Lynn ahead in the count, 1-2, about to throw pitch number 90.
And this is where Lance Lynn has been exceptional. 84% of two-strike plate appearances he has converted into outs. Big league average right around 75%.
Hey, second.
Checked his swing. Pitch was high. On deck is Matt Olson.
Just tickling the top.
Kemp with a good lead at first. Blocked nicely by Chirinos. One of the few pitches that Lynn has thrown tonight that was nowhere close.
Well, if Chirinos isn't able to swing out and get in front of this thing, Kemp is standing on second base with ease. But a good job by Chirinos. You can see he kind of slightly angles his body, dead in that baseball, keep it in front of him. It's big league.
Runner goes, strike three called, throw to second, not in time. Rangers were hoping for a strike him out, throw him out, double play. They started to walk off the field. So they'll take a quick look at their manager. The left hand got in there.
Now batting number 28.
Looks like it.
Matt Olson.
Chirinos not happy. Good job on the exchange and throw. You know what was interesting there is Chirinos called for the pick over to first base, and Lance Lynn said, "Nah, give me that cutter. Put it down. I'm gonna slide step, and let's see if we can get Tony Kemp at second base as well." And I don't know if any better effort would have had Tony Kemp, but some advanced thought process there from Lance Lynn, realizing this might be an opportunity for the A's to run. And instead of playing into that hand, I'm going to slide step and try to bait the hook. Just didn't work out for the Rangers.
That's the A's 7th stolen base this year, which is a pretty good number for them. So now the A's need a 2-out hit from Matt Olson. And he popped it up. Left center. Heineman's got it, and that'll do it. So Kemp stranded at second. We're moving to the 7th. The Rangers 1, A's nothing.
Now for the Roman Health split screen on the left side, little change piece. He gone. And on the right side, the old number 1. Fastball up top. Thanks for coming out. Slow him down, speed him up for El Problema. And here's how it looks, folks. The anatomy of the punch outs. Couple punches on the sinker, the slider, change piece, pull the string. Thanks for coming out.
StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. So it was fun to watch Jesus Luzardo make his first major league start after a handful of relief appearances. But right now, work to do for the A's as they trail 1-0. And TJ McFarland comes in. And he's going to face Chirinos, Heineman, and Kuiper Falefa. Chirinos, who's generally a pretty aggressive hitter, takes the first pitch outside. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. The lefty McFarland comes in. Taps slowly up the third base line to get a triple foul. So as per the new rule, he's got to face 3 hitters. Did you see the ruling today, or the change? Major League Baseball and the Players Union came to a little agreement. Did you see that? So on Thursday, the rosters are going to go from 30 to 28, right? That was all according to plan. But the change comes is that the rosters will remain at 28 players for the rest of the season. Remember, they were going to go down in another 2 weeks to 26. Change that so it'll be 28 players on Thursday, and it'll stay that way the rest of the year. And the taxi squad, which travels with the team, goes from 3 players to 5 players. So I think that's probably a good move.
I think it's a great example of the fluidity that is necessary to keep this thing going. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I would love to see some of this communication right here kind of under pressure in an effort to keep the game going. I'd like to see some of this communication in the postseason, or excuse me, in the offseason.
Yeah.
I would love.
What a great idea.
I just think it would really bode well for the sport and the fans who have been clamoring to get this game back. I think both sides, the union, Major League Baseball, could really do themselves a service by bringing their A game to the table once the last pitch of the season is thrown.
And good news tonight, the Miami Marlins played, and they won. They beat the Orioles 4-0. So the Marlins, of course, they've had plenty of issues, but they finally got back in the field tonight, and they won in Baltimore. So that was their 4th game of the year, so they got some catching up to do.
And can we just quickly acknowledge what kind of effort those players have had to go through?
Yep,
just think about the roller coaster ride that group has been on, you know, with the testing and playing, are we playing, the travel, and there's a lot that goes into that. They're not just showing up with their uniform, running out onto the field.
No, and you hope that the guys who are still sick for the Marlins and for the Cardinals, hope they get better quickly and get back out on the field. Well, we got our fingers crossed with the Cardinals that maybe they can start playing again on Friday. That's what the hope is. But as we are learning, it is day to day. One and 2 to Heineman, and now 2-2. So that roster reduction down to 28 from 30 will happen on Thursday. Left center, Grossman on the move, Laureano on the move, and Robbie Grossman tracks it down deep left center field. So a nice running play by Grossman for the 2nd out here in the 7th. Hit movies, current shows, exclusive originals, and timely updates. Watch for free, upgrade for more, PeacockTV.com. So with 2 outs, Isaiah Kuiper Falefa is going to hit. Astros leading the Diamondbacks now 8-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Angels leading the Mariners 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. And Albert Pujols has homered again. 6:59 for Elbert. About to tie Willie Mays.
Well, it's a good look at
Simeon with a diving play. Gets up, throws, got it. Sensational play by Marcus Simeon on a very close play at first. Kuiper Falefa is walking to the bag, and I think he thinks that he was safe.
Well, we'll get a good look at this here. On top of getting a great look at the incredible range by Marcus Simeon. And it looks like he may have just beat that throw. We'll get another good look here. But a great effort by Marcus to just be able to get up and get to his feet and deliver that strong of a throw, considering how far he ranged and where he laid out to. Here's a look.
Well, I think this one's going to be overturned.
Yep. I got him safe. That ball was, it's a well-struck baseball off the bat. Almost reminded me of the ball hit by, who was it? Was it not Hanley? I'm thinking Hanley Ramirez for some reason. The Sean Manaea no-hitter.
Yeah, I think Hanley made the last out, did he not?
Right, it was like 105, 106 off the bat. It really didn't look like anything special, but then you realize that ball was torched.
Yep, that one was as well. That was 105.2 exit velocity.
The eyes don't lie.
So he is called safe as we expected. So it's a hit for Kuiper Falefa. That's 5 hits now for the Rangers.
Ball has been overturned. Runner is safe. Now batting, Adolis Garcia.
So here's Adolis Garcia, his third at bat. He's grounded out, struck out. First pitch is a strike right at the bottom of the strike zone. Did he go? Yes, he did, says home plate umpire Rob Drake.
No hesitation there. It's a good pitch by McFarland, working the bottom of the zone.
That's Birch Smith, who's warming up quickly. And Garcia chases a pitch out of the strike zone. So a hit, nothing else. Nice inning for McFarland. 7th inning stretch time from the Coliseum.
By my man, the Bipster, Bip Roberts. Lance Lynn, Bip looks like he has put it in cruise control tonight. What are you seeing from the big righty? Thanks, Bip.
All right, stay tuned for more of Bip Roberts post-game live presented by Toyota. Well, Bip's right. Lance Lynn has all the quadrants covered tonight with quality stuff.
And it's really with one pitch essentially. Now we've seen him drop that breaking ball in there, maybe kind of give the slider some more shape to it at times, but it's about cutting the fastball, the good four-seam fastball, and sinking the fastball to both sides of the plate, like Bip said, and up and down.
2-1 Matt Chapman. Chapman hits a high pop-up deep behind the dugout. Chapman tonight a strikeout and a fly ball to left field. The A's have just 2 hits. starting to loosen up a little bit in the dugout. Right center. That's hit well. And that baby's gone, and we're tied at 1. So Matt Chapman's second home run of the year, a laser shot to right center.
And a laser it was, Kuiper. 107 miles an hour off the bat, elevated fastball. And Chappie packs his bags. All aboard. Next stop, Pound Town.
So just like that, the ball game's tied at 1, and here's Canna.
Just creeping out.
So that's the first run allowed by Lance Lynn this year.
When it was just a matter of time before one of these Oakland hitters were able to stay on plane with these elevated offerings from Lance Lynn. Matt Chapman does a great job of getting on top, shooting that ball the other way, obviously with authority.
2-1 now to Mark Canna. Walk and a strikeout for Canna.
Looks like Chappie got his ears lowered. Is the mustache still there? That's the question.
Can you see it if it is there, is the question.
Yep. Full effect.
3-1 pitch in for a strike. So full count to Mark Canna.
And this is where you'd love to be able to start stringing some knocks together. You know, good battle here with Mark Canna. You could really put Lance Lynn on the ropes and in the corner should you be able to win this battle.
And a walk to Mark Canna. So that is 3 walks issued by Lynn. So a home run and a walk to open up the bottom of the 7th. Hey Ace fans, Xfinity XFi gives you Wi-Fi security with a warning track on a smarter, more secure home Wi-Fi network. If it's connected, it's protected. Here's Grossman.
You know, there's a couple things at play here. One, tie ball game. You'd love to give Lance Lynn the opportunity to get out of this and maybe give himself the chance to secure that 100th victory.
Grossman gets jammed, hits a little pop-up foul. Well, he's at 105 pitches now. Jonathan Hernandez warming up in the Rangers bullpen.
Type that home run for Matt Chapman is the first hit allowed to the heart of the order for Lance Lynn. 3, 4, 5 hitters coming in tonight were 0 for.
Rangers thought that was a strike. There's the breakdown. Really only one high pitch inning. That was the 5th. That was when he walked a couple, but he's ended up stranding a pair. Canna's got good speed at first. Toward first. Frazier spins out at second, and that's the only out. So Grossman is aboard on the fielder's choice. Take Canna off the bases.
And that's going to be the only play for Todd Frazier as Chris Woodard makes his way out to the mound.
So Lance Lynn pitched great, but is going to be disappointed when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts.
A's baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans that fit your life. Rocket can.
So it's a 1-1 game thanks to Matt Chapman and his leadoff home run. So bottom of the 7th. Lance Lynn goes 6 1/3. And the new pitcher is Jonathan Hernandez. This guy has electric stuff.
Kuiper, we're talking about 98, 99. Got a tidy little slider. He'll sprinkle a changeup on you every now and then. But electric is a good way to describe what you're about to watch come out of this man's right hand. And as we set right now, responsible for 2 of the 3 victories the Texas Rangers have.
Yeah, he pitched in 9 games last year. So the first pitch is outside to Piscotty, who bluffed a bunt. Piscotty, a single and a walk. And that one, it gets away from Frazier, and Grossman's going to head to second. A free 90 feet. That will drive a dugout crazy.
Well, as a reliever, you're coming in a leverage situation. You're trying to get 2 outs with 1 pitch. You want to limit the secondary lead from the runner at first base to keep that double play in order, knowing you got a shift behind you, a little unconventional defensive positioning. So you're doing everything you can to limit the lead of that runner over there.
That's a strike. So 1-1 to Piscotty. Now the go-ahead run at second base, and he's going to get 2 shots to bring him home. There are errors, and then there are bad errors. That was a bad.
Costly. You'd like to make it costly, I should say.
Chirinos, a wrestling match with that one.
Chirinos really just throwing the leather out there and hoping to knock it down. No chance at blocking this thing.
Caught it behind him.
You can see him right there just kind of tell Hernandez, hey, let's relax, take a deep breath. You and me.
There's a good fastball, and it's 2-2. Murphy to follow.
There's life on that thing. Some late life.
Yeah, late life.
Explosion through the zone.
Grossman with a good lead at second. Solak trying to keep him somewhat close. Got him. Off speed pitch.
Well, that is a great pitch by Hernandez. Featured a couple fastballs, and now he just drops his changeup at 89 miles an hour. It's a good pitch, a competitive pitch in the strike zone. And Piscotty geared up for the heater. Unable to slow himself down enough to try to fight that off. That's a quality pitch.
So it's up to Murphy, who has hit into a double play and struck out.
See Hernandez step off. Robbie Grossman doing just enough to remind him of his presence, and you can see Chirinos kind of barking at him, hey, let's focus here, you and me.
Yeah, that should not, if you're Hernandez, and we certainly hope he doesn't succeed, but the only guy that can hurt you is the hitter.
That's it. That's where your focus.
There's 2 outs. If Grossman wants to steal third, okay.
That's a decision they'd like to make. You go ahead and let them.
Murphy out in front, drives one foul. Toward the Bears.
I was waiting for someone to make a bare-handed play.
Oh man, that was good. You've been waiting. All those Bears have bad posture. They're all slouched over.
Just a grizzly attitude out there.
Be great though. Bears, they eat all summer and just sleep all winter. Well, that's kind of what I do.
It's a game plan I think we can all get on board with.
Strike, inside corner 97. That's not necessarily a fair pitch.
No, not with that kind of life and velocity. Dot him up on the inner third.
Watch the movement.
Just boring in.
See what he throws. 1-2. Jonathan Hernandez. Got him on the inside corner with an off-speed pitch. So Hernandez does a heck of a job. Strikes out a couple, but the A's have tied it thanks to Matt Chapman. Line shot to right center. Second home run of the year. 8th inning coming up. We got a good one. 1-1.
Fans, tonight's Coliseum cutout attendance is 6,877, and you can be a part of the action. Be in 2 places at one time. Get yours at athletics.com/cutouts.
Hey, what?
That's right.
Was that your choice?
That was not my choice. That was a very nice surprise. Just a little tip of the cap to my favorite off-day location here at the Coliseum. Anytime we're given the day off, we're in town, able to catch a ball game. That's where I like to make my way up to.
That's beautiful.
To watch the boys.
None of that surprises me. Shin-Soo Choo is pinch hitting. He lofts one left field, and it's going to be Chapman who is playing the shift. He goes back and makes the catch. So Choo goes after the first pitch. He's hitting for Refsnyder. And he's retired. New pitchers, Joakim Soria. He's off to a good start, 1-0. Has not a lot of run just yet. 4 innings, 4 hits, and 6 strikeouts. So the veteran Joakim Soria in his 13th big league season.
And we've seen the evolution of Lance Lynn on display in the latter stages of his career with adjustments that he's made on the rubber, pitch selection, things of that nature. Soria sort of similar in that regard. You know, the variance of arm angles, maybe using different pitches in different spots than you may have been used to seeing him early on in his career. And that's that veteran guile that's necessary to continue to thrive in this game.
Good pitch there, and it's a quick 0-2 to Elvis Andrus. Yeah, we've seen Soria start to occasionally drop down from the side a little bit.
And he'll give you a couple different looks from down there too. Heater, off speed.
Like that.
And those are the little things that are required of you. You know, you spend 13 years in this game. In the book is out. They've got a good idea of what you like to do, how and when you like to do it. It's all about staying one pitch ahead of the competition.
Swing and a miss. He threw it by 92 miles an hour, but well placed on the outside corner.
Good fastball. Outer half. You can just tell by that swing from Andrews, he's probably looking something soft. See that front hip go a little early.
So 2 away. Here's Solak. In for a strike. Petit went an inning. Gave up the 1 run. McFarland an inning. After Luzardo went 5. Quick 0-2. Throwing strikes out of the bullpen. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
69-mile-an-hour curveball. That's a nice pitch for Soria. Slow it down. Now you can go a couple different ways. Change that arm angle like we've seen. Maybe come with a heater at the top of the zone. The ball is in his court right now.
How about that? 3 pitches, he strikes out Solak. What an inning for Soria. Bottom of the 8th coming up. We're tied at 1. All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the Rangers. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Athletics. Both starting pitchers were very, very good. Lance Lynn and Jesus Luzardo. Matt Chapman's home run in the bottom of the 7th tied up the game. So this is a good ball game tonight. Bottom of the 8th inning, Tony Kemp to lead it off. Jonathan Hernandez is back out there. In the A's bullpen, it's Liam Hendricks just now starting to throw. Kemp takes in for a strike. Angels leading the Mariners 3-0. That game in the bottom of the 4th. Astros still leading the Diamondbacks 8-1. That game now in the bottom of the 7th in Arizona. Yankees not playing tonight. They're 8-1. Maybe as hot as anybody.
Got some guys in that lineup that are back, that are healthy and are producing the way the Yankees had hoped.
Shot to right, base hit. Bounces right in front of Gallo. So Tony Kemp is 2 for 3.
So important for guys at the bottom of the lineup to be able to turn it over and give those guys at the top the opportunity to do damage. And Tony Kemp kind of acting like that double leadoff here tonight, 2 for 3. Just does a great job of putting together a solid at bat once again. And you see guys try to get a little bigger than maybe they should at times, thinking they can do the damage one swing instead of just staying within their approach.
Marcus bunts it, but bunts it foul up the first base line. So we don't see the A's sacrifice very often. But we just saw a bunt attempt there by Marcus Semien. It's just not really something they do a whole lot of them. They got a lot of weapons in their lineup, so not always necessary. Laureano in the on-deck circle. Marcus shows bunt again and takes a strike on the outside corner. Now it's 0-2.
And that right there is the risk you run of selling out to that approach with that right side open. You can see Simi's hands lined up. He's looking to push that to the right side just beyond Hernandez, force Frazier to field it. Tony Kemp safe at second. That's what's going through the mind of Marcus Semien in that moment.
Kemp had a stolen base in the 6th inning. Rangers just making sure everybody's on the same page.
This is where things get interesting here. You've got him down 0-2 if you're the Rangers and Hernandez. You think about trying to bury some off speed, try to get the fish to bite. That could very well open up the opportunity for Tony Kemp to pick up an extra 90 feet.
Low 98 miles an hour. You could not have a more open right side of the diamond.
No, not.
Hit hard, but foul. Nice play. The Rangers bullpen is quiet, so this is Hernandez inning after he got the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. Popped up. That's Solak, the second baseman. And Solak grabs it. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hey, check out the 49ers Insider podcast, hosted by 49ers Insider Matt Mayoko and Laura Britt. It's the podcast for authentic 49ers fans. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcast. It's presented by Big O Tires. NFL is underway. Hope they can pull it off.
Could be a long season. Could be a short season.
Here's Ramon Laureano, who's hitless tonight after a big series up in Seattle. Strike. There's that fastball. If you can plant that fastball with that velocity on the inside corner, that is a nasty pitch.
Well, it's that life in towards the righty, working down as well. A great ground ball pitch. If you're trying to roll it up and get 2 for the price of 1.
And even if you get the bat head out, that's what you do right there. You're probably going to hit a foul ball.
And that's the goal. Continue to try to crowd these righties and force them to be almost protective and guard that inner part of the plate so that he could spin that hard slider and wipe them out.
So 0-2 to Ramon with Olsen waiting in the on-deck circle. Grounded to short. Andrus has it. Out at second. Solak's throw. In time, and they doubled up to speedy Ramon Laureano. That's hard to do. 6-4-3. We are on to the 9th.
A's baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Cresco, your #1 choice for tool and equipment rental with 19 stores to serve you in Northern California.
Buck Talk, an NBC Sports Bay Area baseball podcast. Join NBC Sports' Jessica Kleinschmidt for unique analysis and big-time guests. It's all the baseball fun you'd want in a podcast. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcast. It's all brought to you by Wendy's. So top of the 9th, and the A's bring in their closer, Liam Hendricks. He is pitcher number 5 tonight. And he's going to face Gallo, Frazier, and Chirinos.
Who's done a good job of righting the ship after a rocky opening night. Has converted the save in each of his last 3 outings. Tied for 3rd in the majors with 3 saves.
First pitch to Gallo, and it's a strike. So this would be a fun at-bat. Liam Hendricks and Joey Gallo.
Horsepower. It's like a drag race.
He's got it. Mighty swing. So it's a quick 0-2 to Joey Gallo. And no chance there. 95 miles an hour up in the strike zone. And Gallo strikes out.
Talk about the drag race. Liam Hendriks drops the hammer. And not a curveball, folks. He steps on the gas. Elevated cheese biscuit up top.
So 1 out, and here's the cleanup hitter, Todd Frazier.
You can see Joey Gallo tell you. Joey, what'd that look like? What just took off right at the top of the zone?
Frazier goes after the first pitch to left. Playable for Grossman. 2 away. And here's Chirinos.
Number 61, Robinson Chirinos.
That's a feeling a lot of folks that step in the box against Liam Hendriks eventually end up leaving with.
Sadness?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was there and then it wasn't. It was really hard. I didn't see it.
Edinson Volquez, the veteran. Kind of the closer now for the Rangers. Chirinos tonight is grounded out 3 times. Fastball away. In the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Olson, Chapman, and Canna. That would be the heart of the order.
Well, that's just who you're looking for. Lance Lynn did a good job all evening. Sans the Matt Chapman long ball.
Liam Hendriks not happy.
We could see him earlier in the at-bat sort of punch himself in his left shoulder, trying to remind himself to keep that front side closed a little longer than he is right now.
Swing. It's good pitch there, down and away, and Chirinos missed it.
And that's a good adjustment. And for folks at home, you start to fly open, or if Liam's left shoulder starts to vacate a little early, that right arm can drop. You start to work underneath the baseball, and that's just never any good.
So now it's a full count. See if he just challenges Chirinos. Chirinos has a lot of power. It's hit very high, right center field. Laureano near the wall, got just enough room, and he makes the catch. Side retired. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Toyota, the most trusted brand on the road in California. And by Xfinity X1, the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone.
All right, let's check in on the authentic fan cam. Those folks seeing a good ball game tonight. It's a 1-1 game headed to the bottom of the 9th. So if the A's win this game, it will be in walk-off fashion, as they did on opening night with the Matt Olson grand slam. Olson's going to lead it off against the veteran Edinson Volquez. He's been around a long time.
Sure has. Remember him back with the Royals?
That's right. 36 years old. It's his 12th year in the big leagues. Texas, Cincinnati, San Diego, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Miami, and back now for his 2nd year with the Rangers in his 2nd stint with the Texas Rangers. Edinson Volquez. Olsen 0 for 3.
And I think I like this matchup, Kuip. Some good arm side run from Volquez. Ole can deposit the ball in any part of the ballpark. I'd like to see Ole catch a sinker up and send it out to the left.
And now he's sitting in a 2-0 count. He's trying to win their 4th consecutive game. That one's high, so now it's 3-0. Chapman to follow, and then Kenna. And Olsen taken all the way. It's a 4-pitch walk to open up the bottom of the 9th inning. So Matt Chapman in the 7th inning finally got to Lance Lynn. This one just over the wall for Chapman, his 2nd home run of the year, and that made it a 1-1 game.
You're looking for your big bopper to come up and do damage in a crucial spot. Matt Chapman has delivered once this evening. Looking to be the hero.
Full shift on for Chapman. And that's a ball. Volquez not only missing, but missing up. Not messing up, missing up.
Yes. Same premise here. Chappie can see that sinker up.
Olsen short lead at first. And that one is inside 94 miles an hour. 6 consecutive balls thrown by Edinson Volquez. And he's asking for trouble.
Well, and it's this 7th pitch that feels like it's got the weight of the world on it. You've thrown 4 straight balls to walk the batter. Now you've thrown 2 more and you can't find the strike zone. It feels like you have to throw this right down Broadway.
And that one, pretty good pitch by Volquez. Rangers with 5 hits, the A's with 4. So a night of pitching. Swing and a miss. Chapman trying to end it.
Running fastball. Just beats Matt Chapman to a spot here. Good location, inner half.
See how Sanders looking in. He checks out the signs as well. Foul. So again, Volquez trying to run that ball in on Chapman.
Well, you don't want to give Matt Chapman the opportunity to extend himself. Extend his arms, shoot something to the right side, drive something up the alley to the right side. Ole moves pretty well for a big fella.
There's that big shift, but in the outfield, they're shifted toward right center. Gallo pretty close to the line. And again, inner half, and Chapman is going to limp around for a little bit.
And that's what you're thinking to yourself as a pitcher. The best he can do with this is what he just did, and that's foul it off his leg, take a couple laps in pain, and you're hoping you can get back up there and make another pitch. For Matt Chapman, it's about gathering yourself here and just doing your part to battle and see if you can get Volquez to make a mistake up.
So Chapman steps back in. Kiner Falefa, the third baseman, playing right on the line. And that's going to be a base hit left field, right off the end of the bat. So now the A's are in big-time business. 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the ninth.
What's a heck of a battle for Matt Chapman. Little change piece up from Volquez. You said it, Kuip. He cups it right off the end of the bat, but strong enough to get it out there, and you can see Ole. It's a good read. Feel like he might even thought about it early on, realized, you know what, it's the 9th inning. I'm in scoring position.
Speaking of scoring position, Barreto is going to run for Olson. So Barreto at second, Chapman at first, Canna steps in. Mark Canna has walked twice and struck out.
Well, we've seen Marcus Semien show bunt here earlier this evening, and with the defensive shift that was in place, the right side was being offered up. You think about the extra inning rule. This is the situation you'd love to find yourself in if you're the Oakland A's in extra innings. Should you get there, you've got that runner on second base, nobody out. What is the approach to getting him in?
So Mark Canna, a chance to be the hero. So the corner infielders, Falefa at third, Frazier at first, they'll come in just about even with the bag. Middle infielders, double play depth. Outfield straightaway and a little shallow. First pitch to Canna is outside. Canna had a walk-off last year. It came against the Kansas City Royals late in the year. And that'll do it. A's were rolling toward 97 wins. And that one called the ball. That was a pretty good pitch by Volquez. He did not get the call, and now Canna sits in a 2-0 count.
Well, advantage hitter from 1-1 to 2-0. Mark Canna's now got the ability to really kind of zone him up, either looking for a pitch or maybe a certain location, selling out to that spot.
3-0. That one not close. On deck is Robbie Grossman.
The way Robbie Grossman's been swinging the bat, that might be either between him and Ramon Laureano, the last individual you'd like to see at the plate.
So 3-0 to Mark Canna. And that one eased in for a strike. So Canna took that one. He'll be ready to hit here. Volquez is not showing a whole lot of control here in the 9th inning. Canna needs to make sure he gets a strike to hit. And he did not, and he walks. Good at bat by Canna, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So the A's could not ask for much more than what they got right here. Robbie Grossman steps up. Grossman had a walk-off last year.
We'll take you back to August. Stros are in town. Robbie Grossman coming up late. And it's really the same old story. Guys like Robbie Grossman looking to get a pitch that he can handle. Not about doing a ton of damage with the pitch, but just looking for something that he can get the barrel to, or at least the bat to, knowing just got to put it in play right now. If I put this thing in play, I give us a chance.
So the Rangers have a guy up in the bullpen, but they're running out of time. So Barreto is the winning run at third. The infield comes in. The outfield has to come in. And when I say outfield come in, they come in maybe 10, 15 feet. You just don't want anything to drop in front of you. So here's Grossman. Grossman takes a little bit low. Grossman has reached base twice tonight, both times on fielder's choice. He's also hit a fly ball to center field. Trying to win it. Hit hard, but just fouled on the first base line. So the count even at 1-1. A walk, a single, and a walk here in the bottom of the 9th.
Volquez right now just trying to figure out, one, how to get the ball over the plate, and two, how can I get myself a punch out or a pop up is what he's looking for. He'd love a ground ball as well.
That's a strike, inside corner. So now Grossman's got to fight. He's behind in the count 1-2.
And that's the best pitch Volquez has thrown this entire inning.
Yeah, he needed a big pitch there and he got it. Barreto, the runner at third. It's interesting, Kiner Falefa, the third baseman, actually kind of holding him on just to keep him as close to third as he can. Don't want Barreto to get too big of a lead if you're the Rangers. Popped up. Center of the diamond. It looks like Frazier's going to make the catch. Infield fly rule is called, and that's a big out. So that'll bring up Piscotty, but we may get a pitch change. Jesse Chavez has been warming up, and that's who's coming in. So the A's trying to win it here in the bottom of the 9th as Jesse Chavez comes in.
Is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So there you see the runners. Bases loaded for the A's as Piscotty steps in against former A Jesse Chavez. So Stephen Piscotty, 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Infield in again, outfield in. First pitch is hit in the air to center. Should be plenty deep. Heineman going back. He's still going back. And that baby's gone. Piscotty with a grand slam walk-off. And the A's have done it again. So Piscotty decided he was not going to wait around. He got a pitch he liked from Jesse Chavez, and he drove it over the center field fence. Ball just got up, Dallas, and it just kept going.
No waiting around for Stephen Piscotty. It's dinner time. Heater down, arms down, extension. Pose him up, Piscotty. Pack your bags, fans. All aboard. Next stop, Pound Town.
So Stephen Piscotty, the hero tonight, doing exactly what Matt Olson did on opening night. A walk-off grand slam. So when it's all said and done, the A's win it tonight by a final score of 5-1. The A's have won 4 in a row, and they raised their record to 7-4. So Piscotty's home run is going to be what it's all about, but let's not forget about the pitching, because once again, terrific work. The starter Luzardo won 5, and then the bullpen took over. 4 shutout innings by this A's bullpen. So A's pitching staff just continues to roll along. And right now, I think that pitching staff is maybe the biggest story for the Athletics, because starting to put it together. Again, now a 7-4 record, and they will hang on to first place for tonight in the AL West. So Stephen Piscotty, his first home run of the year, and it's a game winner. So he's going to chat with Dallas when he gets all set to go. And he's a happy man. It couldn't happen to a better guy. Dallas, take it away.
All right, guys, I'm here with Stephen Piscotty. We'll get to the long ball in a minute, Scotty. Let's talk about the performance we saw from the young bull, El Problema. Jesus Luzardo making his first start for the staff. What did you see out of him? What was the anticipation like in the clubhouse?
Yeah, we all know what he's capable of, and he came out and just absolutely dealt. He was attacking the zone and keeping the hitters on their heels. So he did a great job, and it's exciting to see. We all know what he's capable of, like I was saying. So it was great first start for him.
Well, we're not afraid to play bonus baseball here in Oakland. Walk-offs are definitely welcome here in Oakland. You saw Ole jump ship, big fly, grand slam style. You get a little bit of the same action. What are you thinking in that scenario? It looked like you weren't going to wait around too long.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a pitch that I could get into the outfield somewhere. And honestly, when I hit it, I was just glad I got it out, and was thinking sac fly, and then it kept going. I was like, all right. But in that situation, just trying to elevate, and was thankful I was able to do it.
Elevate you did, celebrate you shall do. Congratulations, my friends. Go clap hands with the boys.
So a couple of big home runs. Matt Chapman, 7th inning solo shot, tied it, and then Stephen Piscotty, the grand slam in the bottom of the 9th to win it. Celebration time here at the Coliseum. So the A's win it tonight, 5-1. They're heating up as they take the first game of this 3-game series over the Rangers. 2 minutes and 52 seconds. 2 minutes, 52 seconds was the time of game. A's post-game live is set to go right now.